Life is not made of bricks, it's made of experiences. I'm Architect Karan Anand, introducing you to Season 4, Episode 2 of Moñö Architecture, All Things Designed. Brought to you by brand partners Highback Kitchen Studio, Embellish and Turquoise. Today we have with us Shabnam Gupta and Iram Sultan, two such designers who have distilled this very philosophy of architecture being experiential and about philosophies and not just about structure. Hi guys, it's amazing to have you all here. Hi guys, it's amazing to have you all here.
Hi,
Thank
Karan.
you.
We're so happy to be here.
I'm glad.
Hi, this is Shabnam Gupta and
And
I'm
this
Iram
is
Sultan.
Iram Sultan.
And we are very happy to be here with Karan, who's in one corner.
Cornerist of corners. Okay guys, so let's jump into our conversation. So before we talk about say design and development and growth and who you all are, I want to talk to you all about your younger days when you were in school, growing up, the experiences you had and what made you into the designers that you all are. Stop making me laugh. She's like, ये क्या बोलने वाला है?
I thought she's going to comment on the younger
Age
days.
again. Please
We
send
all
us
had
back.
school days, no, no.
Of course, of course. Go ahead, Iram.
I think my childhood was filled with curiosity and culture.
Yeah.
And I think that's informed mostly a significant part of all my decision making. Enriched lives are the way to go. And by enriched, I don't mean dollars and rupees, I mean experiences, which is what you were talking about. I grew up in a family which is very enmeshed in every kind of theatre, film, art, movies, cinema. My father used to work in Doordarshan. See? Old,
That's
right?
where it came from.
Yeah. But I grew up in a home where books were primary. My grandfather was a professor. And I grew up surrounded by, I think, a stimuli of all kinds. I also grew up understanding the culture that we come from, because that was a very big part of how we lived. That's played a big role in the choices in whatever I do till today. And I think it's not an obvious choice, it's not something that's literal, but it's something that you hold dear. There's a part of you that holds on to culture and traditions of the past, but there's also the curious you that always looks for something new and wants to combine these two things in your life. And that's been my journey.
Yeah, that's so true, because I think it's that entire past that somewhere comes and catches up with adulthood, you know?
Yeah.
And you just can't put a finger to what it is that actually was the stimulus for what you're doing today. Yeah.
I mean, I hear exactly what she's saying, because I remember as a kid looking at embroidery, being taught how to embroider by my aunt and thinking, what will I do with this? Like, what will this be as a life skill? Ironic how that's come full circle and how that's a life skill.
And that's what always happens.
Yeah. I'm sure you've had similar experiences.
Yes. I actually had a very, very different lifestyle growing up as a child. We were 12 cousins growing up in a big Punjabi joint family. We behaved like we owned everything. We were wild children jumping in mud puddles and no concept of civilized society. I don't know how my parents were absolutely okay with us growing up in that sense. And but it was beautiful because we had that complete understanding of nature, being in nature, and at the same time when we were forced to go to museums while traveling, my dad made sure that we went backpacking with a very tight budget all over Europe, and he said the only reason you will call me is when you run out of money and you need a return ticket back. And I think these things were such big teachers. It just shaped you, your thought process, your appreciation for today, how much you have in life. and how you've had to work towards everything. So it's really funny because even when Iram talks about the full circle, I was such a tomboy while growing up. I had curly hair which I used to frizz to rebel against what my dad didn't want me to wear, with my ripped jeans, and he was just like, how are you going to go like that to college? And today I am doing everything that I fought against. You know, he wanted me to paint, he wanted me to pick up some cultural stuff, and everything I was so against is what makes me today and shapes me.
You know, it's funny, I think there is a value system that we all grew up in. There's a generation of us that's definitely grown up. And what Shabnam was saying is actually exactly how we grew up. We grew up as cousins who hung out all the time together. No fancy separate bedrooms, gaddas on the floor.
Absolutely, yeah.
That sense of bonding and communities actually, I think, also been incredible at work, because the understanding of another human being gets developed very early on when you are in the midst of so many people that you interact with. And you have this certain ability to be with people.
To be real.
To be real.
And to be grounded.
Yes.
And I think that's so important and so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think that something to learn here is that now in today's day and age, right, these experiences are very hard to come across because there's so much social media and there's the internet, and you know, when you go to school, everybody is looking at their screens. When I was a kid, I would go and if I would cut my knee, or I would not, like my mom would just be like, you know, just shut up, and she would put that horrible Dettol on it, and it would pain for days, you know, after. So I mean, I feel like these are ingrained experiences that can never be replicated, and they make you all who you all are.
Correct.
You know. Also, I wanted to ask you all before, I mean, you all have become who you all are, right? Tags have been put, like you're a minimalist, you're a maximalist. There are various terminologies that have been given to you all, right? But of course, it did not just suddenly appear. It was not like Shabnam suddenly became a maximalist or you were a minimalist, right? So there must have been a journey to achieving what you wanted to achieve. And so could you tell us a little bit about this, and also tell us about the tags? What do you all think about it? Do you feel like it is something that is accurate or something that you would like to talk about?
I think when you start off, at least for me, you really don't know who you truly are. At least for me, I think there were phases where when I started my practice, it was the entire beginning of minimalism. And it was just something I wouldn't get. Like, I was like, how can I have nothing in the house? How can I, because I don't live like that as a person, I don't dress like that as a person. It does not mean I'm a hoarder, but it does mean that these visuals give me immense joy. And I think there were many times where I questioned my practice, that do I need to blend in? Because that is what was the need of the hour, or that's the direction people were moving towards. And I think sometimes it takes someone else to make you realize the truth. And I was sitting with a very accomplished architect, I won't take his name. We were both speaking at a podium, and I just finished my presentation, and he said, you know, the one thing that makes you is your layering and your use of color. And it hit me so strong because I loved what he was presenting, which was very stark, very minimal, but that was his language. And that's when I realized that I need to start owning who I really am. And that reflects in every aspect of your life. And I do believe I'm a maximalist. And I love it, every piece of it.
I believe I'm a maximalist. No, I really do. I love how Shabd is laughing at me. She's like, someone get the woman some sanity.
Whites and beiges.
No, I mean...
Okay. And textures, which is beautiful. It's quiet.
Yeah, but I genuinely think... Okay, I'll ask you this question. Let me put this the other way, the way I think of it. I think for me, a space is only purely an emotion, something that you feel when you walk into it. Lovely. Right? My intent in every home that I walk into and that I work on is one, that when the owner of that home, when my clients walk in, they feel a sense of belonging, they feel a sense of warmth, that they've come home. That's it. Okay. I think I'm a maximalist because I hope that by now I've learned how to imbue the home with that warmth. And I think that warmth is the maximalism for me.
Okay. I was actually going to talk about Bernard Shumi's Follies, right? So I was going to say something completely different, but after
I think she's articulated it so well.
It's beautiful.
I think because finally all of us are just expressing emotions through our work.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
I was going to call her the park and I was going to call you the folly. But now I've realized that your work is like the folly, and what you're saying is the emotions you feel when you look at it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about how you feel, and those tags and titles could be anything, but it's about how you're designing, right?
Because they're just titles, right? At the end of the day.
And you can do whatever you want to make a person or a client feel a certain way, right? Also, when we were researching on your work and all of that, right, for a long time, obviously, you know, when like I look at your work and both of your work, it's like extremely aesthetic, it's extremely well thought of, you know, but as a designer, we feel like, oh, this is this and this is that, but nobody realizes the process and journey behind it. Each designer, each architect has their own way of processing certain thoughts and kind of executing it into design. Could you tell us a little bit about your process, please, and how you all work?
So the thing is, I don't know if we are as disciplined as we still should be. I know we are far more disciplined from where we started. Because of the kind of designs that the studio does, where we like to experiment a lot, etc. Earlier it was more about getting your design docket and doing a few mood boards and, you know, getting things moving and taking it as it went. I think now our processes in the studio are far more structured. We have a big questionnaire that goes out to a client at the beginning of the project. We first try to see if we are a good fit for each other. I think that is very important for me because, and not only for me, I think it should be very important even for the client because they're going to be spending a lot of money. You're going to be delivering their dream home. It's a journey that you walk together for a year, 2 years, depending on the scale of the project. And for me, I think that is the first thing that, you know, are we on the same wavelength? It needs to be something that we both enjoy because that's going to show in the project. Then we send out the questionnaire. Post that, we actually start with a very short first cut. We call it the first cut at the studio, which is visuals that are put together to see that, hey, are we getting each other? And then that's when the real work starts post that. Now, of course, we've become very structured. We've got different slabs. We know that that needs to go out. Then the 2Ds need to go out. Then the extensive mood board needs to go out. We now tell the client beforehand that it's a 4-month process before we actually hit ground.
You take 4 months.
Yes, because by then your 3Ds are locked, your BOQs are revised, your material boards are done. You've experimented and given them the mood boards that are going to actually be happening on site. Post that, whether the client comes on site or doesn't, it holds no meaning for me because they actually know exactly what they're getting into.
Wow, that's amazing. That's giving me anxiety.
You know, Karan, there were a lot of senior architects when I was younger in my practice who used to have processes in the studio, and I kept thinking that if I want to take on more work, if I'm not going to have some sort of streamlined processes, how am I ever going to be able to scale? Especially with our kind of work, which is not cookie cut, and we refuse to repeat anything we've done before. When we are so rigid, then how do you actually scale as a studio? Which is why we actually put in these processes. And I still look at other studios who are already using AI, who have integrated AI as part of their design processes, and then I'm like, oh my God, we still have so much more to do. So.
Yeah, people pick up like almost instantly.
Exactly. So it's something which I think is an ever evolving process.
Do you also feel like studios must believe in this practice on the onset of their careers as well, you know, choosing the clients, or is that something that takes time?
It takes time. I think it takes time even for you to know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier, you know, you can't choose, you just want to survive. And we've all gone through that. I mean, I'm sure everyone who's walked into the architectural interior design world has to take whatever's thrown at them. You pick up the scraps, you learn, you fine tune, and then you say, oh, I think this is who I am.
I think people don't realize how cutthroat the industry is also. It's very difficult to survive in it. I mean, you have to really be persistent and keep working and then maybe you get somewhere. You know.
I think you need to, because I am not somebody who, I've always been told the industry is very cutthroat. I'm somebody who works and goes home.
Oh, nice.
And I don't network. I don't socialize much. I have few friends from the industry who I genuinely love and relate to. So for me, when people used to tell me the industry is very cutthroat, I believe do your best.
That's amazing.
Believe in what you're doing, and the universe will throw what needs to come to you.
Thank you for that positive advice.
I mean,
That's
I
lovely.
think so.
That's
think-
amazing.
I don't
You know?
think the
Yeah.
industry is cutthroat. I mean, honestly, I don't think. Maybe I'm really fortunate. I haven't experienced that. I have friends in the industry across multiple cities, and I've been really blessed in the sense that there are people that I can reach out to and say, okay, I'm thinking of this, I'm stuck here, or oh, this is a detail that I can't resolve, or I'm not sure about. And I can call friends and say, what do you think? I think that's really heartening and very important. Look, at the end of the day, we all live in our little silos, right? In a studio, you're where things are trickling down from. I don't want to live in my own little well. I don't want to be the frog in the well. I want to be able to look outside. I want to be able to hear feedback openly. And I'm very fortunate. I have amazing friends who do that for me. We will go to each other's sites. I'm very happy to take them to mine. I will go to theirs.
It's lovely.
We discuss materials. We look at, if I see something new and I think it's great for somebody else also, I will call them and tell them, and I will send it across. I don't think you need to be insecure or
at all.
Yeah.
And see, you're speaking to two extremes. I mean, Iram has so many friends in the industry. She is literally, I think, loved by everybody. I know of everyone who knows her. I am somebody who is slightly more reserved. I take time to get to know people. And
unless she meets them in a steam, eating
In a
soup.
steam?
In a
you don't want to even get into that.
I do.
You don't even want to get into
was
that.
it a sauna? This is sauna.
But the point is that
Who did
both
you
of
meet in
us,
the sauna?
no. This is a story which is not meant for the camera.
Which will never come out
It
here.
will never come out. But see, the point still is that I come from a place where I have never felt it's cutthroat. I've heard the way you say it. She endorses it's not cutthroat. I mean, and I think it's beautiful because, when you go out, you see, like she was saying, if people go on each other's sites, if there's open conversation, it's beautiful.
I think that was also one of the primary reasons I started Moñö, because I felt like there was so much gatekeeping. I would see it. I mean, of course, I'm not there yet, but and I was like, I want to have conversations with everyone. Ask everyone about how they work, share it with the world, and like you're saying, everybody was so reciprocative. And everybody is sharing their stories, and it's really, really beautiful.
Sometimes
I mean, imagine
you just
being
need
me.
to ask.
I'm so lucky,
No,
I get
sometimes
to.
you just need to
Shabnam
ask.
said.
It's literally just that, I think sometimes we just stay in our own bubble without, and that's all you need to do, reach out.
Ask, share. You don't have to wait for the other person to start first, right? It doesn't matter whether it's reciprocal or not. You live your life for yourself, right? I'm really content and happy. I have a lot of gratitude for everything I have and everyone I have. And that includes my friends in the industry, right? So for me, it's about sharing, which is a joyous act. It's not complicated. It's not difficult. And that's the way I've looked at it. So honestly, I've never really seen the industry in a cutthroat way.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It stems from when you're not insecure. That's what I mean. When you just love what you do and you do it day in, day out, you don't need to be bothered about any opinions or anything that's happening outside. It's literally just your love for the art.
Exactly. That's beautiful. Thank you, guys. Could you tell us about your process of designing as well?
Of course. So, like Shabnam said, no one comes into any industry knowing everything.
Yeah.
I'm the eternal student. I hope and I really, really try to learn something every day. I also think my process could do with a lot more streamlining. As a person, I'm very structured. I have a question in my mind which I'm unsure of. I don't know if I can have a questionnaire which will give me answers, because the clients that we get can vary significantly. But like Shabnam, we start with a meeting where you want to get to know them a little better. Apart from the 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, living space, what is it that you do in that space? Which leads to design questions which can be addressed internally. For example, how much acoustic barriers would you require in that space? Is it a space where the young and the old meet and therefore that look is going to be different? Or is it a space where, you would need a barrier between the younger and the older so their privacy is not disturbed? Again, emotions of a space are the building blocks for anything for me. So that's how we start. Like Shabnam, a mood board to understand, like she's saying, are we on the same page? Am I understanding what you're looking for? Am I going in a direction which is too quiet for you? Would you have something else in mind? That's the first step. Layouts are the bread, butter, caviar, champagne, everything of, I think, our profession as a whole. Without that, you can crack nothing. You build on that, right? So that's the first thing that we really, really want to get. Then a hard palette. I want to get that sorted first. Of course, services, overlaying, all of that works. What I think I need to really work on is my dislike of 3Ds. I try very hard. I think I'm very old world in the sense that I like walking a space. So I'm clear about my hard finishes from the word go. But for example, the city I live in changes from summer to winter. The sunlight changes, how it falls in a room, how it behaves. I like looking at that and then thinking of the softer notes that I want to bring in. I'm not sure when I start that this is the lamp that I will use. I want to hold on to that, and it's a complex equation in my mind. Sometimes I feel like I'm being very lazy, because if I just pick from whatever I'm used to and it's an easy pick for me, then am I really putting in that work? It's also the inner Catholic in me, all this Catholic guilt, though I'm not. And then I want to layer it. So my work, because it doesn't have really very strong, obvious notes, it's the details and the balance which is the key. So therefore, scale, balance, hot, cold, warm, soft, hard, brittle, like how do you bring in every flavor, every emotion, every note? But I also like homes that will offer you a little sense of discovery. I don't want a home that you walk into and you know everything about it from day one. And so these are our processes for developing that. So I'm not good at the 3D part. It's not my comfort level. Kids in the studio, by the way, are looking at AI, and I sit there with my mouth open.
Oh, really?
Yeah, giving
you all have integrated AI into your studio.
We have not integrated. We're experimenting.
Yeah, even we're experimenting.
Yeah, we've not integrated. ChatGPT, for example, doesn't allow you to really work with scale.
Yeah.
And we would not be able to, as a studio, take that ahead. Because our work is not about, say, an aha moment. It's about, oh, I found your moment, right? Yeah. So we are looking at what it can do, but it's not really hitting the sweet spot yet.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Also, when I look at your spaces, Iram, there are like it took me a very long time to kind of decipher what's going on, because there is layer after layer after layer after layer, and that's why I asked you about the minimalist question, because it's not really minimalist. There is so much depth. In our day and age, we kind of believe that if you put a bright color or a pattern or something, and suddenly you're a maximalist and you're not a minimalist anymore. So I want you guys to talk about maybe some projects that you all have worked on or are working on that could explain to our audiences watching about the stages of these layers that you all work on. Because Shabnam, even with you, when you call yourself a maximalist, right? People don't realize that maximalism is not just about keeping a lot of stuff all over the place. They do not understand this, you know. So, and of course, I'm asking this because we have a lot of young viewers who are watching it and they do not really understand what these terminologies actually mean in coherent design. So, if you all could talk about this, maybe a project that you all have worked on to express how you all work, that would be really cool.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It'll also be interesting. I don't know how familiar Shabnam is with what I do, but there's a project of hers that I had really enjoyed, where I thought the balance that Shabnam brings in, I think maximalism, the way she does it is extremely difficult, because to balance multiple elements that are strong.
It's ridiculous. It's like her work is ridiculous. You can't like. I know, I'm serious.
It's a youthful
I
thing.
know, I realize.
Like,
listen,
it's
I'm
so
not that
sick.
Lit.
It's so sick.
It's lit.
Yeah, it's sick. It's lit. It's
I
ridiculous.
have never used the word lit.
I'm just saying, I have a very young studio. I have
Chalo,
20-year-olds,
glad
and
these
then
guys
suddenly
are-
they
too.
first dibs.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then I'm suddenly
yeah.
saying, oh, okay, this
I
is
call
what
dibs
means.
on
And
it.
yeah,
I call dibs on
this.
it.
And
Listen, that
Yeah.
happened after my time. I am not that young.
No, we're just saying. We're just saying.
The first time one of the kids in the studio said, "Oh God, ma'am, that's sick."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
God,
that's
what's
it.
wrong
Yeah.
with it? Like, I'm looking at it thinking, it's terrible. And she's like, no, it means it's really good.
cool. Yeah.
Like, you old person, I'm just informing you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I'll talk about mine, but I think it'll be, there's a home that you designed, I think it was for Irfan, that had this white veranda that you walked into.
That project.
It had a swing, okay? And what I loved about the balance was that throughout the house, I think it had less pops of color than your other projects, but there was a sense of movement. And I think that's difficult to get without drawing the eye like in an obvious way here and then an obvious way there. But that movement I thought was really lovely. So I just wanted to say that.
There are so many things that Iram, you've said before this when you were talking about your process, which by the way, we resisted 3Ds forever.
We do
thought
them under
3Ds
duress
can never
now.
capture. It
Yeah,
cannot
it
capture
can't.
what we are visualizing.
It can't.
It just can't. So, just to let you in on this, when I said we have to still get there, I don't bind myself with hurrying up the lights and hurrying up the other stuff, and it's locked for the 3Ds. And I think our clients know that by now. They know it's only to say,
Volumetrically ऐसा लगेगा.
but finally you need to take your time. So we still do that.
Yeah.
And something resonated so much with me when Iram said that it's actually about creating emotions. Because I think when we design at the studio, we actually decipher a client's personality. The questionnaire is limited to how many bedrooms, den room, lifestyle, how many guests in 365 days. But it's actually about whether the client wears a linen breathable fabric or whether the client wears loafers or sneakers. You are all the time, without trying to judge them, you're trying to box them with what works for them, because you need to keep changing with every project the person you're designing for. It's imperative for it not to become about you. And that's something which we realized very early on. It cannot be about the ego of being a designer. It has to be about the person who's going to be living over there. And when we designed this home for Irfan, it was actually about him. And I remember when he used to give briefs. This was just after Life of Pi, and I mean, I love his work and the craft, as you know, who he was as an artist. And his briefs used to be, Shabnam, I want to be able to feel like I'm walking on granules of sand when I'm at home. And we go back to the studio and we say, what flooring do we give him? And we realized he wants textured flooring. So we actually did flooring like that. Since he lived in the heart of Bombay, he wanted some nostalgia from where he grew up, where his roots were. So we actually got the swing from there. He said, I want to be able to switch off my mind from every role I'm essaying in my career, and I want to be able to become zero. So we realized that's when we built the water body, which had the softest controlled sound, and we built this whole jungle where if he sat on that swing, it was just him and silence. So now how do you explain this? You know, so maximalism.
No 3D is going to ever be able
and
to
not
express
only 3D,
this.
even
No 3D, no
how do you
AI.
explain this process? It's something you need to feel, you need to be able to understand what that person wants out of you. And you're just a medium to be able to do that. And you know, maximalism is honestly about that. It's about being able to layer and balance without going off balance. And that's what it is.
That's amazing.
It's so, like Shabnam said, every client is a unique person, and I think as a designer, one of the skill sets or a characteristic, whatever you want to call it, that you need to possess is empathy. You should learn how to walk in someone else's shoes. Till you don't do that, till it's about you, you're never going to really create their home. I don't want my home to be yours, but I don't want yours to be mine. I need that sense of belonging to be primary. We've worked on a couple of projects that have been really, really close to our heart. Interestingly, one of them was an office. But the office was for somebody that we already knew and had worked with. And that made it astonishingly easy, because we had a rhythm that was set, but it also made the office so much more intimate. You know, you don't associate the word intimacy with an office. You think of homes as intimate spaces. Offices are just as intimate because you spend half your life in them. Our studios are intimate spaces, right?
Yeah, they have to be.
Because that's where we are, right? And who we are. Similarly, this office was so intimate because every single nail was about the client. It wasn't a generic office. It was picking up things from their life, from their work, reflecting it in an abstract manner, sort of inviting the question to look deeper and say, what was it about this space? Why was this chosen? And I think that is overall the way that we work. You know, our layering is quiet but deep, and always derived from the client. I mean, for me, my client is the context, my client is the muse.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, guys, so now we're going to take a break from this very, very intense conversation
Okay.
and play a game.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to play a game. You both have your cards, right? And you all have to make the other person guess what the word is without the 4 keywords written below. Right? So Iram, let's start with you. And before you start, just show the plaque to the camera, whatever it's called, so that...
Okay.
Okay.
We have chandeliers, and then when you have a single one of them, a lot of people hang them.
Pendant light.
Wow, man. That was like super quick.
We'll be super quick.
Okay.
Don't have this faith in me.
We will.
That
I have to
was-
first show it to them.
Yeah.
Green Lamb is a
Laminate company. Laminate. Okay.
You have to have all these shots.
Yeah,
right?
I
If you
think
get all
Karan
the
should have a
points,
shot.
you have to have this.
Okay. You know what you said about what Irfan wanted when he was telling you poetically it was sand, but what was it?
Flooring.
But what kind?
Texture.
There you go.
This is, they had tried a version of this game with me, and I took like 4 minutes to even come close to the word, and y'all are just like.
Don't worry, I'll fail at some point.
So, what is the term for architecture that is masculine, strong?
Brutalism.
Thank you.
We should
It
have just
also
done
helps.
the quiz.
It also helps if you know each other. Okay, got it? What's the kind of kitchen that you don't do?
Modular.
There.
Why don't you do modular? A stupid question again. I'm not going to ask.
Okay. So, you know, when you're talking to your structural engineer and you're telling him ki when the car drives in, I want the entry porch to be
I'm lost.
to be without any anything vertical
No columns.
holding it up. So that's
Columns,
called
pergolas, columns,
So
driveway,
it is,
porch.
Yeah. So what is the slab called? It's a
Cantilever.
thank
Come
you.
on, man. I was hoping you don't get it.
Why?
इतना मेहनत क्यों किया शॉर्ट्स बना के?
Okay. 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 Maybe I shouldn't say this. When we come into this space, what do you see as the external part of any building?
The facade.
This is ridiculous. Sick. Sick.
He's depriving us of coffee shots. He's just depriving us. Yeah.
So you know what Karan thought when we are going to sit and talk here? I'm going to be talking about maximalism and you're going to be talking about
Minimalism.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, last one.
Come on. I
Okay.
hope you don't get this.
Oh wow, charming. Okay.
Get in line.
So the really boring thing that people think that you just put paint of one type on a wall and makes it what? It's called that one wall that you highlight.
Accent wall.
Okay, ta-da! Give it up for Shabnam
Very
Gupta.
quickly, let's give Iram a second to get this. Yeah. So Digone is a company
Wallpaper.
for perfect.
So guys,
Very well done.
Yeah.
Give a pat on that.
this is the smoothest, fastest ever.
Please have all the shots.
Yeah, okay, come on. Okay, we need to see Karan doing these shots.
Oh my god, I'll do 2.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You really want? Okay.
We should
fine.
have
No,
actually
no, no,
asked
the
Karan.
coffee.
We should have asked Karan some.
Yeah,
of these.
I love how Karan didn't get asked any of these.
Karan, this was too easy. Yeah.
Yuck.
I'm happy I didn't get to have that.
This is disgusting.
Well, we did well, partner.
We did very well.
Okay, so one terrible shot later, both of them have won this game. There has been clearly no competition here. So our brand partners would like to present both of you all with a lovely hamper.
How lovely.
Oh, how sweet.
Can we call them?
Thank you.
So after you all have cheated your way through that game,
What
and
nonsense. What nonsense.
Karan, now I insist you drink all those shots, okay?
anyway, guys, so we'll talk about 2 of your projects that really caught our eye, and we would like to, amongst the many that you all have done, so we'd like to talk about the Stitched House and Manikarnika, your project. So could you all tell us a little bit about the journey around this and how?
Okay. The Stitched House is actually the embodiment of what I was talking about earlier, both in terms of process and people. I think I've been really fortunate that I've also met some amazing clients in my journey who have gone on to become friends. And this one particular project was amazing because I met this family. It's a family of six adults, parents and their 2 sons who are married and who both have 1 child each. and they lived in a farmhouse, which then they wanted to expand and give each of their sons their own private areas, a little area for themselves, and entertain. They entertain a lot. Very early on in this project, the gentleman and I discovered a mutual love for wine. So all our meetings were in the evening and never ended early. And I must say, I think I drank them out of more than I charged them because they were so amazing and generous. The house has little details. The reason it's called the stitched house is because when I first met them, they were 6 individual distinct personalities, each with their own, expectations, each with their own ideas. But what ran through was how incredibly connected they were. And it was a little idea that we developed where the skirting in this entire house has a thin little strip of brass inlay, like a stitch line, that runs through the entire space. So whether it's the parent's space or the elder brother or the younger brother, that stitch line runs through the skirting. And it connects the entire house in 3 different spaces, 2 different floors. It's really the emotion of that bonding that was the inspiration behind the detail. Of course, then came along the rest, which is the warmth that they showed, which was expressed in the choice of materials, the fact that they are the most gracious, generous hosts. I mean, I remember we were in their home. I like setting up personally. I don't like doing it, just with somebody else. I'm at site doing it myself. And they were away on a holiday. And Sneha called and she said, it's 9:30 at night. She was in America. Why are you still there? And I said, no, I'm just nearly done or whatever. And the next thing you know is the most amazing homemade food was arriving because she had called the cook. She didn't know I was there. It's not only about the project or the work. These are the memories that you carry away.
It's the gestures that
these
matter.
These are the moments that warm your heart, that steal your heart. And this is why you do what you do.
Yeah. And I think it's also the years of perseverance that have enabled you to earn these pleasures that you have with your client, because it's not easy. It takes a lot of time for a client to have trust in you, to be like, okay, this is your space, do what you want. And a lot of individuals don't realize, a lot of younger designers don't realize that it takes a lot of practice, a lot of failures to kind of reach this stage in your career. So I think that's lovely.
Karan, it's never really our space. That's what Shabnam and I said earlier as well. I want to make it their space. So we made a bar. The bar actually has a collection of their old decanters and their old silverware that we wanted to bring in. It isn't about everything spanking new. It's about what you carry, the emotions that you associate with some pieces. It's about the history of the family that goes into those, right? You look at this object, maybe it's something in your home. You will have a plethora of memories associated with it. That is truly what will make it their home.
That's lovely.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that lovely insight into your project.
Thank you.
So I have worked with Kangana before in her Manali home.
Okay.
And that was the first time that I actually worked with her. The beauty of working with Kangana is that she has a very strong individual style statement herself. She's a very stylish woman, and she is someone who extends that into her spaces. And I think that's what honestly connects us, that she trusts me, she lets me do what I do. And that's really the beauty, because we've just handed over the mountain story, and that's literally the 4th project we've done for her. And it's when we were doing Mani Karne Ka, I remember it was we were both standing there. It was a play school, and the whole bungalow on Pali Hill in Bandra was just covered with graffiti art, and it was so not nice for lack of putting it in any other way. I'm just going to leave it at that. And we realized, and Kangana, being a creative person, respects and understands that if you're bringing a professional on board, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which, if you're on the same wavelength of creativity, it's literally like saying, go ahead, do what you need to do. We literally stripped out the entire bungalow to bare skeletal, and when we started realizing the sun path, we realized again she loves nature. She's a very, very earthy mountain girl, and she's got that quality very strongly in her. We're both very strong-headed people, so it's really amazing that when we both come together, we are able to actually, me understand her vision and her trust me in my skill set. And I think Mani Karne Ka was all about that. She said, I don't want it to be a typical office. I'm in a creative line of work. I want a space that is very creative. I want a space where I can actually have natural daylight streaming in. My creative process needs to happen over here. I don't want my teams to be able to be like posters and typical production Indian studio houses. And that's the route we went. She wanted us to create silence. So the whole office had not one film poster. It didn't have any color. It was a completely earthy space which had quotes, hard-hitting quotes that were written. So, like she was saying, I think it's about your relationship with the client that also shows through the end project.
That's beautiful. Thank you guys for this incredible insight into some of your work. Before we wrap, we're going to play a rapid fire though. Okay?
You really take your namesake seriously, don't you?
Hopefully he's watching. So now we're going to play a rapid fire. Iram, I'll start with you.
Always.
What's a small change that makes a huge difference?
Gratitude every day.
If you could invent one new material, what would it do?
Turn me invisible.
And
yeah, I think she's very good at this. Yeah.
An odd object that always finds a way to sneak into your projects.
A book.
If you had to give up walls or floors, creatively speaking, which would you sacrifice?
Neither.
You have to choose one.
Oh, why? So what would you walk on? Water? I'm not Jesus.
No, like if you had to say like in your whole life, never design a floor again or a wall again, which one would you not design?
Oh, a wall. It's easy. I always have art.
Okay. Would you rather a client say your design feels like a dream or a memory?
A dream.
Okay. What's one book or poem you think should be turned into an interior space?
There's a poem called The Love Song of Alfred J. Prufrock by T.S. Eliot.
Yes.
I think that should be a space.
I have goosebumps. The moment you said Eliot, I was like, okay. Designing for silence or designing for sound?
Silence. I'm married to a sound engineer.
Okay.
He craves silence too.
If you had to ban one adjective often used to describe your work, what would it be?
Minimalist.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. Thank you for those
Thank
lovely
you.
answers. They were amazing. They
Go,
were
Shab.
rapid,
Lot of
rapid.
pressure, yeah.
No, yeah. You're going to ace it. Look at you like setting your collar straight.
Yeah, she's like...
She's like, okay.
Just
Suddenly.
get prepped. Come on, don't like.
Okay, Shabnam, your turn, okay? If you had to design a room using only 3 items, what would they be?
Art, rugs, color.
Nice. Favorite film or TV show set for design inspo?
Games of Thrones.
Nice. Game of Thrones, yeah, nice. That's a lovely one. What's a color combo that always works for you? One underrated color you wish more clients liked?
Taupe.
If you had to wear...
Take mine.
If you had to wear a warning sign on your forehead, what would it say?
She'll answer this for me.
I'm hangry.
She's giving subtle hints.
I
She's like, talk show khatam karo, khana do.
think by the end of my project, every client knows that I can
Yeah.
get hangry. I need to eat.
Yeah, so do mine. That's why it was so
We need
easy.
to-
And I put it out there.
I don't don't even need to put it out there.
Yeah, suddenly I'm like, they're like, just get her food, get her something to drink.
Because
Yeah.
my face,
Yeah,
I
same here.
have no
Just
filter
can,
in
yeah.
any case, so my face is showing everything. Yeah.
Okay. A new client gives you full freedom but hates imperfection. How would you rebel subtly?
I wouldn't, because I am also someone who craves perfection. We'd get along perfectly well.
Which of your senses do you rely on the most beyond sight when designing?
Intuition.
Wow, okay. Would you rather design in a city that never sleeps or a village that never rushes?
Both.
No, I'm sorry.
Would-
If I couldn't choose, she can't choose.
I
Like
would
if I
love
had
to
to
design
choose.
Okay, sorry.
No.
In
If
a-
I had to choose between stupid walls and floors, you get to choose also. Yeah.
A city that never sleeps.
Okay.
A city that never sleeps.
New York.
And I'll make the village in that city that never sleeps.
There you go.
That is not rushing. If your furniture could be described in one line, what would it be?
Eclectic.
Wow, okay, lovely. Okay, thank you for those wonderful answers. Guys, who has won?
They're all turning their faces.
Yeah, they're like,
no one
"We
wants to
can't
answer.
Give it to Shabnam.
Okay.
Iram.
Okay, Iram has won this round. Well done, Iram. It
Very
was a
nice.
very close one, though. I would have
Very
never been
nice.
able to guess. I'm being politically correct because they both are hangry.
That way.
But that was a good answer,
That's
wasn't
very
it? Yeah.
correct, very accurate.
So thank you for those wonderful answers and congratulations on winning, Iram. Before we sign off, I'd like for you all to address our audiences and just give a little bit of an advice to anybody watching about anything you would like.
I think we've said the same thing throughout. I don't think there's anything new, but to me, be yourself, be real, be 100%, no shortcuts, and no Pinterest.
Yeah. And believe in yourself
Yeah.
more than anything. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. You can.
That's amazing. Thank you for watching Season 4, Episode 2 of Moñö Architecture, All Things Designed. Brought to you by brand partners Highbeck, Kitchen Studio, Turquoise and Embellish. Now we're going to do a quiz round, alright, to break the seriousness of your very intense conversation.
So if I get it right, you will have a shot.